welcome back our dear brothers and sisters after the short report, and we're back with different nationalities to celebrate Eidul Adha together. I have brother Habibur Rahman from Bangladesh. Thank you, brother, for joining us.
You're welcome.
And we have brother Abdullah Naim from Bangladesh as well. Thank you, brother.
You're welcome.
And we have brother Ali from Nigeria. Thank you, brother, for joining us.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
And we have brother Ayam Jamal from Malawi.
It's a pleasure to be with you for the second time, mate. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, brother Ayam. It's a pleasure as well. Now, I have a special feeling that I have to share with my dear audience. It feels like I'm moving on a map from a place to another to check how Eid is going in this place. And it feels like magic, you know?
Yeah.
All right. Now, as we all know, as Muslims, alhamdulillah, and the whole ummah, we have almost common things that we do on Eid al-Adha, but there are still those small special things that happen in a different nation but doesn't happen in another, and we don't share it. That's why we like to learn from you what happens. Let me start by brother Habibur Rahman and ask you, what is different that happens in Bangladesh and is not common with the whole Muslim ummah?
Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulih al-karim amma ba'd. At first, I would like to say Happy Eid.
Thank you, brother.
To all over the world and those who are watching us. I just like now I'm playing, I'm celebrating the Eid.
Yes.
You know, the Bangladesh is the largest Muslim country. It was the second before, now it's become fourth. The largest Muslim country. It has like 1,150 million Muslims in my country. And about Eid, we have some differences from another country, especially in Eid. Like those people, they live in capital city. The first Eid, the Eidul Fitr, they don't take the holiday, but they keep this holiday to take it in the Eidul Adha, this Eid, because they want to go to visit their family and they want to sacrifice, and they have a special festival. So before Eid, like 1 week, you can get in a capital city, very big jam, the crowded of people, because they are traveling from the city to the village. So a lot of people, if you go, you will be you will ask how is it can happen. So after they go there, they go to the village. So we have some differences how we celebrate. Like after when we saw the moon, the first of Dhul Hajj, to do this. After that, after saw the moon, the people, they used to do like they are doing like they cut their nails and their hair before they saw the moon. After they saw moon, they never cut their nails, never cut their hair, and keep it till to the day of sacrifice. And they believe that if I don't cut my nails and my hair, and I'll cut it after I pray the Eidul Adha and come to the home, and I will cut the nails and my hair, I will get a lot of reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And it has hadith that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, those people who do this, he will get the thawab of Eidul Adha, thawab of sacrifice. So they do this.
Yes. All right. Let me also ask your friend Abdullah Naim, since he comes also from the same country, Bangladesh. What is also a bit different from other countries that happens in Bangladesh?
Alhamdulillah, wa salatu wassalamu ala sayyidil mursalin. This is the good things I'm sharing with all of the people.
Sure.
Yeah. Our country, as we as you know, the largest Muslim country. There is many things they'll believe something new. I'm just telling about that. Our people, the Eidul Adha, they just feel it from their heart, and they just really about this thing. All of the people as like crazy, not as like crazy, but they feel from their heart, and they do something. They do something. Everything related to these things, everything related the Eidul Adha, they'll feel it, and they'll happily it will be done from their hand. So it's the new thing. I saw the Indian people, the nearest of Bangladesh, and I saw many more people, many more countries. But every people will be happy by this Eidul Adha. But our people, our country, there's more than happy. It's not just Eid in their heart. It's just something. We'll do something. It's about religion. It's about our society. It's about our Islam. Everything. So there is something, not one thing. There is many more things he believe, and there is many more things he believe, and it's related to our society. So more of the people, they believe that it's not just a few things. It's a big things, and they will do everything related of these things very well.
I see. All right. Thank you, brother. Now let me move to Brother Ali from Nigeria. Now we're moving from Bangladesh and travel to Nigeria.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Brother Ali, let me ask you, how is Eid in Nigeria, and how is it different from other countries?
Well, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Actually, when you talk about the nature or the look of Eid in Nigeria, you are virtually talking about something very colorful, something very marvelous, because Nigeria is, by nature, is a colorful country with varied ethnicities, tribes, and sometimes, geopolitical attachment or geographical differences. So, in a nutshell, you can say Nigeria is a nation in one nation, or vice versa. Therefore, with varied tribes and ethnic groups, we have more than 250 tribes and ethnic groups speaking different languages with different mother tongue. And that's why we switch to English as our lingua franca. We speak English as our official language rather than staggering between different languages and indigenous ethnic languages. Talking about celebration of Eid, the way it is, the demographic nature of Nigeria is also the nature of the celebration. What I mean is that you're going to see different ways of celebration in accordance or in conformity with the nature of the tribes. For example, I belong to a Hausa tribe, who are the majority, the dominant tribe in Nigeria. In the day of Eid.
Powerful.
Exactly. Thank you so much. This is part of the regalia, even though I'm not full dressed. I'm having, part of the regalia. I need to, wear this kind of hat, which will look more, comfortable as far as I'm concerned. So according to Hausa tribe, in the early of for example, in the eve of Eid, that's a day before Eid Al-Adha, people try to fast, in the day of Arafah. It is in accordance with the Sunnah of Prophet Muhammad that people should be very, devoting in the first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah. So people are trying to epitomize, people are trying to practice, fasting and many other acts of worship in these first 10 days, particularly in the day of Arafah, that the eve of Eidul Adha. In the morning, in the crack of the morning, because most of the Muslims in Nigeria, more than 90% of them, belong to the Maliki school of thought. There are different, sort of school of thought. There are Shafi'i, Hanbali, and Hanafi. Nigerians are mainly into Maliki school of thought, school of jurisdiction, and therefore, the prayers of Eid, it's mainly, later, relatively, if you compare with that of Egyptians, who are mainly in Shafi'i school of thought. So by, for example, 7, 8 a.m. in the morning, people move to mosque. Okay, we don't pray in the building, in the built mosque. No, we rather go to fields, different fields. And so people go to, sport pitches in order to use them as their Eid grounds. You see multitude of people. You see millions of people. The population of Nigeria is skyrocketing. My friend has just said that Bangladesh is the second largest Muslim country, I think, after Indonesia. Nigeria is the first largest Muslim country in Africa. The number of Muslims in Nigeria is larger than Egyptian population. Our population is 180 million. Okay, 72 of which are all Muslim. 72 out of 180 million, we are having more than 100 and something million. And I know Egyptian population is officially 90 something million.
Yes,
so our population is skyrocketing, and it is very boosting and booming in as far as Muslim communities is concerned. So we move to Juma, to Eidul Fitr prayers, and people wear their different and of course new dressing, and they make sure that they look so colorful. Okay, you see father taking his kids and children, sometimes his wives. I'm saying wives, I'm underscoring on wives. Mainly, men in Nigeria marry more than one. They marry 2, 3, 4. Okay, he takes his children and wives going to the mosque in order to perform Eid al-Fitr prayer. After coming back from Eid, then the official, celebration begins
starts.
Because you see people, it is Eid of meat according to the nature. Okay, people are trying to slaughter what they are going to slaughter, the rams and the sacrifice, and that, according to Islamic teaching or in line with Maliki school of thought, should be done after the Imam of the mosque has slaughtered his own. So people will wait until the Imam of the Eid mosque slaughters his own. Then after that, they abide by him. They slaughter. Everybody slaughters what he has.
All right. So he starts, and
so on and so forth. Yeah. Then eating traditional food, which is mainly we have something we call it tuwo. It is kind of it's not wheat actually. It could be made of maize with soup and meat, or it could be made out of rice.
I think you feel hungry, right?
Yeah. Me too. You make me swallow my salad. So that's how we do it virtually in the first day of Eid.
That's a great overview on how Eid is going in Nigeria. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
All right, now let's move on the map to Malawi.
Sure, please.
And ask you, Brother Aram, how's Eid going on in Malawi, and how is it different from other countries?
Well, thank you so much for the question. And in the name of Allah, the most affectionate, the merciful, and may peace and blessings and the salutations, of course, of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be showered upon His beloved Prophet Muhammad. Yes, peace be upon him, his family members, and his disciples, and all those Muslims who follow him in good till the day of resurrection. Allow me just to say Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, walillahi alhamd. As far as Eid celebration is actually concerned, it's really a very big journey that we're going to actually start talking about it, where it starts and where it ends in Malawi. Basically, it starts on the first day, that's the first day of Dhul Hijjah. That's when we see, thousands and thousands of Muslims, you can say millions, but thousands of Muslims fasting that starting from the right at the beginning of that month. And it goes on until the 8th day, and then we experience a change on the 9th day. we see now millions and millions of the Malawian population from the Muslim society in the majority fasting on that day. Well, they fasted that day, and the next day, just the first day of the Ayyam al-Tashriq, all right, or the day that is specified to be Yawm al-Adha, right, the day of sacrifice or the day of slaughtering. We really see different people, different Muslims going to different places to buy different cars, to buy goats and different types of animals to be slaughtered on that day. We all understand that Eid al-Adha is all about slaughtering and sacrificing. So that's what basically happens. We get the meat prepared just right after coming back from Eid prayer. We get the people slaughtering, then start sharing them to the people. Now the journey itself commences when we are preparing to go for the prayer, when some people take a little food and then they go to the mosque. And mostly we don't also in Malawi pray in mosques. We do go to the fields, like my colleague has already made a mention of in his speech. We have different grounds, different fields that we do go, because we are large in numbers, so we cannot actually be comfortable to occupy the mosque. It cannot actually work. Basically we have to go outside and perform our prayers right there. Once the prayers have been performed, we make sure that we go outside. That's when now the celebration starts. We can see people standing in different routes, in different places, different ways and roads, distributing the meat, which has been actually slaughtered just right away after finishing the prayer. So I can say it starts from there to the second day, up to the third day of this Ayyam Tashriq. People keep on eating and drinking, and some listening to different anasheeds and the right. It really symbolizes the importance of unity, love that Muslims have among themselves, and it also shows mercy to those poor people who have nothing to do, because when the day comes they definitely have something in their homes.
By the way, we had something in common of what you're saying now with brother Mudassir from Pakistan in the previous part, and he said also some families gather and they go visit the poorest families in the area they live in, or sometimes they visit people who had someone who passed away in this family, and I really like this so much. I mean, it's very much likely to be supported from our end.
Absolutely. Yeah, so from there, we're now remaining almost a few days ahead to finish the whole process of Hajj itself. So we have, different families like to go, somewhere like maybe lakes and see with their family members, where they celebrate and then they come back. And also they do go in the streets where we find those, street children, our beggars. So they get also given something, because it's a day of celebration, and as far as the Muslim community is actually concerned, we do not actually wish to see them suffering on that day. We make sure that there is something really very, very interesting, provided to them, so that they can also have their day blessed and they can feel the day and feel the Eidul Adha itself. So the situation is really very, very amazing. We get a lot to take about. And the next question that you can definitely give it to me.
Sure. All right. Thank you, Brother Ayam. Now let me take you all a bit far, but back in time. Do you remember when you were 10 years ago? Or let me say, in another way, when you were 10 years old. I went even further, right?
Yes.
Now, I need to ask you, you need to recall your memory, and this is a test to check if you have a strong one or not. Do you remember your Eid when you were 10 years old? How did you feel? How was it? Back in time.
I can remember.
Okay, let's start then.
This time really I miss it. When I was 10 years old, every people that goes to pray. I was pray with my father, but after finish the prayer, I directly leave the place of prayer and go to the shop to buy something to eat or something like that.
All right.
And I was buying something, and I just not buy for me. I bought it and go to the home and give my mom. I bought it for you.
All right.
And after that, the mom cooked the some sweet, especially for the Eid day. I took the Eid this sweet, and some friends they called me. I just visit with them. I could remember a little bit, not a lot.
All right.
But
Great.
this spring and now, this spring is totally different.
All right. Now, brother, Naim, do you remember?
Yeah. All of those days I was studying in Madrasa, Islamic Center. I was hafzing the Quran.
Yeah.
So at this moment, when the Eid days will become, before the performing the Salah, we'll go many more places with our friends for celebrating something new. Then we have Eid prayer. So please come with us and we'll join this prayer. After that, when we will finish the performing the Salah, then I directly go to the home and I'm just waiting for this day. Really, I missed it so much and I loved it. My mom was making something called shemai in our society. It's a kind of sweet. It was very amazing, really. When I finished the Salah, I just come back to home. Directly, I was eating something, those kind of it. And I really miss it. And I am remembering something as like that. So it was amazing.
I think you need to bring a sample next time.
Yeah, you can.
Last Eid, my brother said about shemai. This is the special food for Eid. Every family, they must eat this shemai in the day of Eid. Even they just after about Eidul Adha, the community, the family in our country, they do what? They before go to the prayer, performing the prayer, they don't eat anything. They believe that like a short fasting. They don't eat anything in the Eidul Adha. They go to the prayer. After back from prayer, they directly break their fast by the sweet. They call it I'm fast for a short time after Fajr till the performing the prayer. They break their fasting by the sweet, or some of us they break their fasting by eating the bit of the cow. Like that. So this sweet, I'm in here in like about 5 years in Cairo. So I really missed every Eid. I missed it. So one Eid, my friend, one of my friends, he took some shemai and he cooked it, and we had it together. We were eating it, but just we got a little bit. So I was thinking, just a little, it's not enough. I need more. So unfortunately, this year I took some of this shemai. If you want, just welcome to my house. Really.
All right, we'll all join to Habibur Rahman after the episode. Right?
This is the different thing in our country about it. It's really nice.
All right, thank you for sharing this with us.
Okay.
Although we're hungry. Now, Brother Ali.
Talking about flashing back 10 years ago, I don't have to punish myself thinking it is already here, it is ready, available. It has to do with horse riding, okay? Because like I said, in Nigeria we have different ethnicities. So there are kingdoms, and in kingdoms there are kings. So those kings are riding horse. In fact, horses in Nigeria, especially in northern part of Nigeria, the Muslim-dominated part of Nigeria, horses are being pampered. Horses are being good taken care of. Horses are being, glamourated, being, elaborated to look so much wonderful. Okay, unlike what is happening in Egypt, I see horses and no, I'm not saying that, but they are really being pampered. So the kings and they are people of the hierarchical members of the kingdom will ride on horses, going through the kingdom, through all the corners and cavity of the kingdoms, trying to show a display of traditional regalia and traditional outfit of that particular kingdom. This one happens to be very marvelous. So as a 10 years old or teenage, so to say, we immediately after the prayer, in fact, we were not leaving our home in order to pray purposely. The main purpose was to witness this kind of horse racing or something like that. So immediately after the prayers, there should be sermon. After the prayers, people should wait in order to listen for the sermon of imams and so on. But we rather quickly move to the places in order to occupy our suitable places in order to witness and set our eyes in decorated and well embroidered horses and so on. This one I cannot remember. Another thing, as 10 years old, I could remember the fact that it, as far as we're concerned, was the fact that we have to see a new dressing a day before Eid. So any father in our community or in our tribe who failed to purchase new dress for his kids, he is in trouble. He's in a big trouble. So we will always keep, staying until a day before the Eid in order to question our dad, where are our new dresses, if he failed to bring them in the right time. So Eid means dressing. So eating, dressing, and going towards the race of the horses. Those happen to be very, very important. It is still taking place. They are still taking place, but we are not paying attention to them in as much as we used to pay attention to them those days. So I really could remember this. And I could
most of the fathers will think twice before they go to Nigeria on Eid.
I think I share this idea with you. Yeah.
All right. Now, Brother Ayam comes here.
Yeah, sure.
Eid in Malawi when you were 10 years.
Yeah.
How was it?
When I have those flashbacks, I remember spending much of my time with my family, and we invited a couple of friends and different families as well. So it was mostly spent home, because we could prepare some food and sit with friends and different families, within the kinship of our family, and even those ones outside. So I could be busy that time serving the food and doing what this is what I spent much of my time at. And after that, maybe go 4 hours, 3 hours outside with my family, like in different places, restaurants and the like. Let me come back. That's the flashback that I can talk about.
I see.
Yeah.
All right. Now, let me ask you a bit general question.
Sure.
Do you like Eid nowadays, or do you like it much more when you were young?
Well, I think if I talk at this point, I think Eid nowadays is, we are now living in more a global village, so to say. We can witness Eid in different parts of the world, okay? Those days, we have been confined merely to what is happening precisely in our communities. Now I'm spending my Eid in Egypt, for example. Of course, I'm going to see something different. I see Egyptians after Eid, I see something very funny as far as Egyptians are concerned. After Eid, the whole Cairo, even though Cairo is very cosmopolitan, very crowded city, so noisy, but in the day of Eid, after Eid, whether it is Eid al-Fitr or Eid al-Adha, the town keep quiet. grave silence, everybody home, and everybody was like sleeping or something. The town, if you want to drive, you can drive and crisscross all the streets
Mostly
of
people
Cairo.
would be at home or gathering in other homes.
In other homes. So this, I say, this is all like Nigeria. If you go to main cities of northern part of Nigeria, if you go to Zaria, if you go to Kano, if you go to Sokoto, if you go to, for example, main cities, Maiduguri, for example, after the Eid, oh my goodness, the crowd, the traffic jam, you cannot move that way because everybody is out in order to, like, you know, felicitate and celebrate the day. So for Egyptians, I see they merely go to clubs that's at the end of the day or in the following day and so on. But we come out, visitation comes, you know, in the second day. So for me, I think nowadays it is more like overpopulated than those days. However, I love those days because it was more pure, it was more natural, and now, yes, I'm very happy that I'm going to perform my Eid. But last Eid Al-Adha, I had it with my family, with my mom and my dad and my brothers. Of course, it felt so much different, and I was served Nigerian food and so on. So here, if we try to cook any Nigerian food, I think the ingredients are going to fail us because they are going to fall short. So I think, Eid nowadays, for elder, or for those who are, beyond teenage age, of course, is less, appreciative compared to those days when there is no any responsibility, even books. Now we are celebrating Eid and we are thinking of curriculum, of books, of exams, and so on. You're going to school and so on. Those days you are not thinking of this. You are only focused on your dress. You are focused on your sweet, on your pocket money, on the horse riding.
Ice cream flavor.
Yeah, exactly. That's a big difference. So I think you can see the difference is quite clear compared nowadays and those days.
That's definitely
about
a
me,
significant.
that the brother said, I have something different. Like about me, I'm not comfortable that eat these days, but nowadays. When I was the kid,
you like old time?
Old time. I liked very much because, before go to the Eid prayer, I must have the new clothes. Now I don't care, I have or not, I can go easily. And I live in Egypt, and after Salatul Fajr, in Egypt, after maybe 1 hour, you must go to the prayer. If you late, you will not get the prayer of Eid. But in my country, it's totally different. In my country, we pray at 7 or 8 o'clock, like that. During the 7 or 8.
It's not like that early here.
Yeah, and we never prayed in mosque, like the brother said in Nigeria, same in my country. We never pray in mosque, we go to the
like
field.
Open spaces as well.
And we have special field for the Eid. Every year when the Eid come, the people go to this field in order to pray.
At this point you might feel home because also in Egypt so many places not only pray in the mosque, but they also have
Yes, I can see the main squares of Cairo. I know Babu Sharia, even Tahrir Square, some people pray there.
You'll find people praying everywhere. So
yes,
just
I can
pick
see.
one of them and just go pray. Feel home.
Yeah.
Okay.
Feel at home.
So now, I just miss this my old time, and now I'm not comfortable Eid, but. Last year I was in my country. It was really different and it was really amazing and good, and I was comfortable. But when I grow up and my time is past and I'm not feeling the happy of Eid. I don't know why, but maybe it may be because of I am outside of country, and now my Eid day is different. I'm learning now. But before my Eid was just for happiness.
Yeah.
I go to the prayer and I'm very happy. I must have new dress and must visit my uncle's house. After I pray and eat in my family, I must go to my uncle's house, uncle from my mom. I must go there. If I can't go there, I used to cry. I used to cry why I can't go there.
Something that you got used to already. I see. But also, you have a family here.
Thank you.
Right?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, please.
I loved before the Eid. performed. There was many more amazing things. Today, I believe that every comes with the new happiness. But those days, I really miss it because of those days when I was my country and I was just 10 years or 12 years old. Those days when we performed the Salah Fajr in the Eid's day, so many more mosques in our country, many more people, many more boys, they were singing Islamic songs. And really it was very amazing that today is our Eid day. So those
they
days,
were performing some sort of nasheed, right?
Yeah, it was. So those days we are performing some nasheed Islamic song as well in our language, or many more things. It was so beautiful, colorful.
Nice.
But now it's missing.
They stopped doing this.
Yeah,
I see.
because of
Right.
that we are.
Probably when you say I like something that used to be in the past, it's because of a memory. But why not like redoing this and maybe encouraging people doing this again?
Yeah, it's okay, but we are not our country. There is something.
Well, you can still encourage Egyptians to do this.
So you want to,
Well, I think Egyptians also are very good in celebration. Even though the way Egyptians celebrate all their celebrations, not only Eid, I can see it's much more exaggerated, or it is blown out of proportion.
Really.
I think maybe because I used to live very close to a club where really Egyptians are celebrating. When they celebrate, they do it by heart. You know,
Yeah.
you see dancing. You see the states. Spending night or 24 hours around the clock. Dancing their folk clothes. You see someone rolling something, dressing long
Yes.
with something around him. It was so marvelous. And they bring some people from Upper Egypt who are dancing with sticks, I really like it. With those people with moustache, very, thick moustache. I like it. But what I'm trying to say is that, when I'm seeing Egyptian way of this thing, or any earlier, last year we have seen Indonesians doing something the way they celebrated or something like that. So in those days, when I compare their own way of celebration and ours, okay, I say, the difference is clear. But there is one thing. One thing we all doing is that we're all happy.
Exactly.
Okay, we're all happy. And
To
there
share
is
the same
happiness
thing.
in seeing something that you are not familiar to see. Okay, I once celebrated my Eid in Nigeria with some Egyptians who saw how we used to do in horse riding. They were like, wowing, oh my God, you like it, you understand? And they were still complaining the complaint I'm doing. They say, we miss how Egyptians are doing
This is natural
this is the
thing for all
nature of
humans, of
humanity.
course.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think we only miss it because it is not taking place. I think if I'm in Nigeria now, I would think, Egyptians are there doing their own things. This is the nature of it.
This is a human thing, of course.
As humanity. Yeah.
All right, Brother Ayam, how is Eid different from all time?
Well,
From your own point of view.
it's a wonderful question, by the way.
Thank you.
When you asked that question, what first came into my mind was my past experience when it comes to the Eid day. Honestly, those days were the best days. I seriously miss what we call get-togethers on 8 days that we experienced previously. We used to organize, get-togethers where the youth could meet that time, and we could have, multiple activities to take place. We could act, we could sing nasheeds, we could have, quiz, asking questions about Islam and answering, give
Learning more.
Some of the things are happening which don't take place today, I can say. So,
But why do you think this is happening? Like, why aren't they taking place?
well, I think it's because I'm living in a country which is not my, my own country. So that is the reason why I cannot manage actually even to, convince the Egyptians, for example, my colleagues here, to do that. I failed to convince them to start an English, debate club, and I don't think you can manage to, convince them to do that, because basically, this issue has to do with contributions for it to be successful.
It might also because everyone sticks to the tradition and the things they're used to do.
Definitely.
Like, I mean, if you ask someone to change a way that they used to celebrate, it would be a bit difficult for them. They may try, but they won't be convinced.
Definitely. But I think at the same, you're right, but I think it can also be blissful, more than blissful, because when we have, for example, different nationalities, then we can have a chance to show what we definitely do in our countries on that day.
Sure.
I think it can be very wonderful and amazing. So when I compare those, previous days and these days in which we are living today, I can say those were the best days that, I understand people say when we talk about the previous, time, of course, we definitely have two different suggestions. Where one could say those were the nice days and the best days ever, and one could say no, these are the best days according to the experiences that people have.
Of course, and if for any reason, inshallah, we have this gathering again after 10 years, and I ask you, how was your Eid? 10 years ago, I think you'd be saying we've missed the lot again.
Yeah, exactly. Mr. Ayam has made me to remember a point. I can remember we have African Student Union here in Egypt.
Sure.
I happen to be a vice president of West African Student, and I represented African Student in Indonesia. So we used to have something like International Students Caucus with different representations from different nations. We had more than 100 nationalities, okay? But the trouble was the fact that you are having different nationalities with different orientations and mentality and way of thinking and the way of ideology of or seeing things. And more importantly, the barrier of language. I come from Nigeria. My lingua franca, my official language is English. Mingling with someone who is, for example, from another country whose lingua franca is not English and neither second language is English. He speaks, different language. So this, from here, it comes to begin. The lack of.
That is the first barrier, of course.
This is the first barrier. So what we used to have with Egyptians in those days were something in common. For example, we used to play football matches. Egyptians are very fond of football. We Africans also are very fond of that. But those who are from Asia, from Asian countries, are less fond of football than we are. So we normally used to play. So we had this kind of thing. We always used to have fun. We used to go to clubs and so on, and we exchange experience and so on. But to have something traditional, okay, we cannot melt into theirs and they could not melt into ours. So we come to a melting point that we can have something in common.
Yeah.
That's what
thank you. Unfortunately, they are telling me that we have a few seconds to go.
All right.
Always good time runs. So I'd like to ask you to give just a quick one word to the whole Ummah and wish them a great Eid. Let me start by you.
I would like to tell the Muslim Ummah really that this Eid, why the Eid came every year and we celebrate, but what can we learn from the Eid? One thing that in Eid every family, if they live or if the member of family, if they live together, they come to family. So the Eid, it teaches the community, the unity of Muslim Ummah. So from this Eid we can take that we must be community and united and go in future to win in Islam.
Inshallah. Thank you, brother. Yes? Brother Naeem?
I just want to say two things. There is two things. I think that it is we have to focus about it. It's one of those things is sacrifice. As we know that this is the Eid calls Eid Adha. Udhiyya, Dahiya.
Exactly.
It's called sacrifice.
And number 2?
And number 2 is help.
Help.
When
Help each other.
we divide all of our meat, so we help by giving our family, our friends,
poor, yes.
all of those things. So we are learning something about this helpness from this Eidul
Right.
Adha. So
Thank you,
there is
brother.
2 things.
All right.
Number 1,
Sacrifice and 2 is help.
sacrifice, and number 2 is help.
All right, thank you.
That's it.
Yes.
I would like to say to Muslim Ummah, happy Eid to you all. And I would like to say one thing in a nutshell, that let us use the tools we have in our hand to have the unity of purpose. We are millions, 2 millions down in Mecca. We are worshiping one God. So let's have unity by that. We can vanquish and eliminate any enemy of Islam. Inshallah.
Inshallah.
Happy Eid to all Muslim Ummah.
Brother Ayam, last word.
Yeah, thank you. I just want to, say that it is important for us actually to do what? To use these days of Eid in the right way. Basically, we misunderstand things sometimes, and because it's celebration, everybody feeling like doing whatever he wants, like drinking beer, which is contrary to the Islamic jurisprudence and teachings. So let's definitely look at the food that is halal and look at the drinks that are halal. We should not actually go beyond the bounds of Islam. I wish my dear brothers and sisters the very best, and Eid Mubarak and
Inshallah.
Eid Kareem, inshallah.
All right. Thank you very much for being with us today. We had Brother Habibur, Rahman and Abdullah Naim from Bangladesh, and Brother Ali from Nigeria, Brother Amdullah from Malawi.
Welcome, thank you.
Our dear brothers and sisters, as usual, time runs and we've got to finish up the episode. I hope to see you very soon in Hajj Day today and in Huda as well. Stay safe and happy Eid. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.